Speech of Vishwanath Narendran, Tata Steel Limited CEO, MD and Director. So I start with COVID. I think in these times, the first and foremost priority has been the health and safety of all our employees and the communities in which we operate. And we've been focused on running our operations safely and efficiently and on servicing our customers to the best extent possible. Due to the pandemic, countries imposed severe restrictions on movement, leading to a disruption in the manufacturing activity, and a sharp drop in demand across the world was observed. Industries are estimated to have lost about 2 to 3 months of output, and governments have announced measures to address liquidity and demand. And while these have stabilized the financial market, the underlying economic activity will take some time to recover. In India, the nationwide lockdown from the 25th of March severely impacted manufacturing activities, including steel-consuming sectors. This is normally a peak season for the steel industry because, normally, January to June is the best time for us. And we believe that about 20 million to 30 million, 20 million to 23 million tons of steel demand has been lost over the last few months because of the lockdown. The Government of India and the Reserve Bank of India have taken steps to improve liquidity and kickstart economic activity, and a phased relaxation and mobility restriction has also started. While it is early days, we have seen some signs of recovery in steel demand and expect this to continue with an increase in infrastructure spend and stronger rural demand. In Europe, the steel demand was already weak, and the outbreak of COVID-19 has further accentuated this. Auto and construction has been badly affected, though, on the upside, there has been a certain demand for steel for packaging. The share of imports to total steel consumption in EU continues to remain at elevated levels, which is a cause of concern. China seems to be recovering faster than the rest of the world on the back of investments in infrastructure and real estate. And the Chinese steel production reached an all-time high in the month of May. And they also, in addition, imported about 1,280,000 tons of steel in May. However, these are unprecedented times, and many experts are opine that nations may go through multiple waves of infection. So we cannot afford to be sanguine, and the need of the hour is to be agile and ready to adapt to a fluid environment. Accordingly, from a planning perspective, we have assessed multiple scenarios so that we can recalibrate our operations as the situation evolves. In terms of operations, we've been optimizing our utilization levels, in line with the economic activity while keeping a close eye on the cash flows. In India, we operated at around 50% capacity utilization levels in April, and we have now improved the utilization levels to over 80%. While there will be a drop in our sales volume in the first quarter, we expect to go to normal levels from the second quarter onwards. And if there are no further lockdowns, etc., we aim to come close to our FY20 sales volumes despite the overall reduction in steel consumption in India during the year. In Europe, we are currently operating at about 70% utilization level. From a market perspective, we've taken a tactical call to increase exports to counter the lockdown in India. With the phased relaxation in lockdown measures and pickup in domestic demand, this will be rebalanced over time. We've been extremely focused on cash flows and liquidity management through this crisis, and Kaushik will elaborate on the same shortly. We have looked at deferring payments while squeezing our expenses and restricting spend to the minimum. Given the uncertain business environment, CapEx is being curtailed sharply and restricted to safety and sustenance projects. We will revisit our CapEx plans in the second half of the current financial year or when the business conditions normalize. We also firmly believe that every crisis provides opportunities to create value, and we have several initiatives underway to identify and implement such opportunity. During the lockdown, we consciously chose not to curtail production at our captive mines, or at our pellet plant, so that we can further reduce for future purchases of both iron ore and pellets and improve our profitability. We are also exploring changes in the way we work, which will help us reduce our cost base and come out of this crisis as a stronger and sharper company. Some quick comments on our performance during FY20 and the fourth quarter of FY20. Our India crude steel production, which includes Tata Steel Standalone, Tata Steel Bisl and Tata Steel Long Products, grew by about 8% year-on-year in FY20 to 18,200,000 tons. This was supported by the ramp-up at Tata Steel Bisl and the acquisition of Usha Martin Steel business by Tata Steel Long Products Company. In fourth quarter FY20, we grew at 6% quarter-on-quarter. The India deliveries grew by 4% year-on-year in FY20 to 16,970,000 tons, and they would have been significantly higher if not for the nationwide lockdown in late March 20. Fourth quarter deliveries shrank by 17% quarter-on-quarter. Both our acquisitions are doing well. Tata Steel Bisl could ramp up crude steel production by 25% year-on-year in FY20 on the back of improved maintenance practices and operating practices. We hope to complete the merger this year. And Tata Steel Long Products has also delivered a sharp improvement in operating KPIs, which has helped in cutting costs and delivering better profitability, which is evident in Q4. Moving to Europe. Tata Steel Europe showed a turnaround in performance with an EBITDA of about GBP 8 million in Q4. And while the transformation plan is underway, profitability was obviously affected by the weak market conditions coupled with the outbreak of COVID-19. I will now hand over to Kaushik to comment on our financial performance and our financial management. Thank you.